In today's video, I'm so excited to share with all of you 3 delicious and extremely healthy breakfast ideas you can make ahead for your children during your weekend meal prep to toss in your fridge to serve on those busy mornings before school. And the best part is each and every one of them feature a vegetable. So not only is it something that's quick and easy and on the go, but it also provides your children with a full serving of veggies. The first recipe we're making today is a delicious zucchini banana date bread. This is my daughter's absolute favorite. The texture is squishy and spongy, yet it holds its shape, which I love for when she's walking around or we're out on the go. And for everything I'm sharing with you guys today, I will go ahead and link the full recipe in the description box down below. So just hit that expand arrow right below this video, whether you're on mobile or on your computer device, you'll be able to check out all of these recipes. And then you need to let me know in the comment section down below which one you're excited to try or if you're excited to give them all a go. I'm sure you're all aware of this concept by now, but adding things like spices to your baking dishes is one of the best and easiest ways to avoid adding excess sweetener. Something like Ceylon cinnamon, which I just added with a little bit of pink salt, helps balance and it really brings an incredible flavor profile to all of your dishes. So that's one of my biggest hacks to getting around adding tons and tons of sweetener. Now I'm going to go ahead and grate my zucchini, and I'm just grating this directly into a nut milk bag that I've lined over my cup. So you will need a full cup of shredded zucchini that I'm going to gently remove all of the juice from. Now don't throw away this juice. Save it, put it in your fridge, and use it for your smoothies the next day. It would be a great addition to serve with a green smoothie and a slice of this banana bread for tomorrow morning's breakfast. But after I've gone ahead and removed all of the juice, I'm going to add the zucchini to a small blender along with 2 eggs and the 3/4 of a cup of dates that you saw me soaking in warm water earlier. In addition to that, you will want to add in your 3 ripened bananas, and I just toss everything into my small blender because it's easy to throw it together. It makes the consistency really smooth. There's no lumps in it, and I just find it to be a quick and easy hack. So once you get all of this into the blender, I did throw in that little bit of extra zucchini that I had on the side. It was like just a small thumb size of it, but I decided to toss that in so nothing was wasted. And then I'm just gonna mix all of this together with my dry ingredients until it's well combined. However, you do not want to overmix this one because I did mention that consistency was a thicker banana bread texture, and you don't want to lose that by over mixing. Then you're going to add in your vanilla extract, and by this time your batter will start to smell delicious. Now my glass pan that I typically cook this dish in was being used, as you can see behind me, for sweet potatoes that I'll be showing you a recipe for later today. But I'm just going to use this non-stick that I've lined with some coconut oil. Coconut oil is my absolute favorite oil to use when I'm lining anything, whether that's for baking or just cooking in general, because it does such a good job of creating a non-stick surface and things slide out so easily after. Then you'll pop this into the oven for around 30 minutes. Keep a close eye on it, but your kitchen's gonna smell incredible. After it's cooked for 30 minutes, set it to the side, let it cool for about 5 minutes, pop it out on a wire rack and enjoy it. This one is so yummy. We've already in the last 2 days consumed 3/4 of this loaf. You can serve it with some nut butter, some grass-fed butter, some yogurt on top of it, any toppings of your choice, or simply on its own. If your children are anything like mine, then they absolutely love waffles. I don't know if it's the portability, if it's the cool texture to it, but my children are waffle obsessed. So I'm really excited to share with you guys a healthy waffle recipe that includes Japanese yam, or you could use sweet potatoes. Here I'm using 1.5 cups of brown rice flour with a little dash of coconut flour, and all I've done is kind of evened out my second cup of brown rice flour with about 1/3 of a cup of coconut flour, and then 1/4 of a cup of flax seeds. And I'm just tossing this all in to make it even 2 cups, simply because I'm moving quickly. It's the end of the day, and this is just my comfortability level in the kitchen when I'm baking. I'm comfortable mixing and matching, but all of the exact measurements for this recipe will be in the description box down below. But I find that this brown rice flour with just a little bit of coconut flour and flax seeds makes these waffles such an incredible consistency. It's a thick, super thick batter that's definitely more of like a Belgian waffle. So if you think that that's something your kids might not be on board with, you could add more milk. So I used to be a hero and make all of my own milk at home, but this organic oat milk from Thrive Market is so clean and incredible, and I used 1.5 cups. However, as I mentioned, it is a very thick batter, so you could use 2 full cups if you wanted to loosen it up a little bit, and that would help with your children if they're used to a thinner, not so hearty waffle texture. And now on to the hero of this recipe, and if you think I'm being facetious, I'm 100% serious. This vanilla bean ghee will make your entire kitchen smell like Christmas cookies. It smells so much like sugar cookies that anytime I use it, I feel like it's the middle of Christmas. This makes every recipe taste so yummy, and I love baking and cooking with ghee, but I would save this one especially for baking. It adds such a yummy, buttery, vanilla-y taste to these yams and to the overall waffle, which is why I absolutely love it. Now, my children do love vanilla, so I went ahead and added in some extra vanilla along with the mashed yam. So this is where that thick batter comes into play. When I added my yams, I don't like to overmix, but as I mentioned, if you add in that extra milk, it will really help smooth this texture out. I like to have a little bite of the cooked Japanese yam when we're eating the waffles, but if that's not something you're into, just keep mixing the batter and add in that extra milk. I'm making these waffles for Ronan's lunchbox and for Sawyer to have as an on-the-go snack, so I did add in 3 teaspoons of maple syrup to help sweeten them up so that it's not something that they're sitting down in the morning and eating with a whole bunch of syrup on top. However, if your children are going to be eating these with syrup, you could absolutely avoid that step. I'm showing you a quick hack because my waffle iron isn't the best, but I have it and I don't want to trade up and get a new one because I don't want to be wasteful. So a great hack is that if your waffle iron doesn't cook things all the way through, you can always cook it in the waffle iron about 70 to 75%, put it on a baking sheet and bake it at 350 for 5 to 10 minutes, and they come out perfect. I did not have to do that with this recipe, but I did preheat my oven just in case, because sometimes I never know, because I make so many different waffle recipes, if they're going to cook all the way through, but these ones did great. Guys, this video is like picking your favorite child. It's absolutely impossible, but this next recipe was a huge hit, and these are my berry chocolate chip muffins that are loaded with spinach. My children devoured these so quickly. My mother loved them. My father loved them. They were a huge hit. So my little helper and I are adding in 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of buckwheat flour, and 1 cup of cassava flour. And if you've never cooked with buckwheat flour before, sometimes it does have a bit of an earthy taste. So if that's something that you think your children might not be interested in, you could completely sub it out for a cassava flour, 2 cups of that in total. You could use oat flour, you could use any gluten-free or even gluten flour of your choice. And then we're adding in 1 tablespoon of flax seeds, 1 tablespoon of hemp seeds, along with 1/2 cup of this creamy buckwheat porridge. And I just used this because I wanted to get through it, and I did that as substitution for rolled oats. However, typically when I'm making this recipe, I do use oats, but we had this bag open and I figured we might as well use it up. And just like we did for our zucchini banana bread, I'm taking our wet ingredients and I'm just tossing them into my small blender again. It really does the hard work for you by blending everything together to give it that really smooth consistency. And I think that it's just such a great hack. I'm also adding in some coconut yogurt here. You could use Greek yogurt, you could use almond milk yogurt here, whatever your yogurt of choice. And I'm putting it all into the blender together. Next, I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of coconut nectar. I love to use coconut nectar because the taste is amazing. It's also a wonderful source of amino acids, B vitamins, things like magnesium and potassium. So aside from the delicious taste, it does have a great health profile. Now here's a total mom move. Sawyer was upstairs napping, and this is something I've never shown on my channel before. But every time she's asleep, I go into the pantry and blend, whether it's a smoothie or anything I'm baking. I will plug it into the wall, sit on the floor, and blend my ingredients together. The things we do in mom life, am I right? But that's the unglamorous part that comes with prepping foods and making sure that we're cooking healthy and delicious meals for our kids in the kitchen. It's not always perfect. We try to do our best, and that's a prime example of that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and rough chop up 1 cup of berries. I just used frozen berries because they were what I had on hand, and it was quick and easy, and they were nice and fresh. So I chopped up 1 cup of berries. We're gonna stir that through, add them to our muffin liners, and then my little helper here added some, and by some I mean almost an entire bag of chocolate chips to the top. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up. And again, let me know in the comment section down below which of these you're most excited to try, and quite frankly, I hope that you give them all a go and tell me what you liked best. Thank you again. Hit that subscribe button on the screen, that way you don't miss a single video. I hope to see you back here next Thursday.